Developing tonight, it has been 12 years and 7 months since the remains of Buffalo native Melissa Barthelemy were discovered near the side of a Suffolk County road. After no breakthroughs in the case for over a decade, tonight a suspected serial killer is in custody. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler. Scott is off tonight. 2 on Your Side's Nate Benson explains the details of the high-profile arrest in the case of the Gilgo beach murders.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families.
In December 2010, the remains of 10 people were found near Ocean Parkway in Suffolk County, New York. Nearly 13 years later on Thursday night, 59-year-old Rex Heuermann was arrested in Manhattan and charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of second-degree murder. That includes the death of Buffalo native Melissa Barthelemy. She went missing in July 2009. At the time, she was working as an escort, a trend the district attorney says is consistent in the case.
They all did the same thing for a living. They all advertised the same way. And there were similarities with regard to the crime scenes.
According to police, the women, including Barthelemy, were tied up and covered with camouflaged burlap sacks. Male hair was found in one of the burlap sacks, according to the bail application in the case.
For each of the murders, he got an individual burner phone, and he used that to communicate with the victims. Then shortly after the death of the victims, he then would get rid of the burner phone.
In March of last year, 6 weeks after a task force was formed on the case, law enforcement identified Heuermann as a suspect.
We had him under surveillance. We had other means of monitoring him.
And continued to keep an eye on what he was doing over the course of the next year.
We were able to use fictitious or fraudulent email addresses and get Google warrants, and from there we got his searches.
Those warrants turned up evidence that Heuermann allegedly searched for information about the Gilgo beach murders over 200 times. Heuermann had little to say in court Friday afternoon.
The only thing I can tell you that he did say as he was in tears was, "I didn't do this."
We are going to hold him responsible for what he did in this case.
Lynn Barthelemy spoke to Claudine Ewing in 2011, shortly after Melissa's remains were found. After Heuermann's arrest, Lynn simply told 2 on Your Side, "I'm just relieved." According to court documents, investigators were able to link Heuermann to the crime scene discovered in 2010 from a pizza box he threw out in January of this year. Lab technicians were able to match his DNA from pizza crust to the hair found in the burlap sack. On Your Side in the newsroom, Nate Benson, Channel 2 News.